Kevin, what can you tell us about what we saw tonight? We all see it with our own eyes, and we've seen tackles like this many times before. But that moment afterwards is like something we've never seen before.
Yeah, I've never seen that sort of emotion on a football field after a play like that, where players are obviously suffering emotionally from what they've witnessed, from the aftermath, the ambulance, the oxygen, the CPR, all of that. Never seen that before. But it's a reminder of just how violent a game, professional football, college football, even high school football, really is. And, these sorts of things, you see something like this from time to time. You always know it's a possibility. That's why they have an ambulance on site. That's why they have medical personnel on site. But to see this tonight is just a reminder of how vicious this game is, and how the athletes who play it really are putting themselves on the line every single snap.
We know the ambulance is there, but I think most people watching the ambulance is out of mind, and we rarely see the ambulance have to come out on the field and take someone off. We see people in much worse hits than that, much harder tackles than that, much more violent collisions than that. In their way, they might stay down for a moment, but the most likely is they're going to walk off to the sidelines or be helped off to the sidelines, mostly under their own power. And there's something about the repeated sights of them being able to get up after that that I think builds into the football viewing audience an expectation that they're always going to get up after that.
You're absolutely right, and I think it's even more so today, because so many of the fans who grow up with this game, grow up with it on video screens as well as actual games where players aren't actual human beings. They're these cyber images on a digital screen, and now with the growth of fantasy sports, fantasy leagues, we even think of these football players as even less than that. And so I think that all contributes to this. And tonight I think was a real, this is a real unfortunate test. This is the test that you hate to see, because when this has happened before, to your point, these games have gone on. Everybody will have learned by tonight, if they haven't already, that Chuck Hughes, a Detroit Lions player, died on the field back in 1971. That game continued. If people remember back to 1997, when Reggie Brown, also with the Lions, was laid out with a serious spinal cord injury, lost his ability to breathe on the field, was taken away. That game continued. There was an Arena Football League player, Al Lucas, I believe, a few years ago, who also collapsed and died from injuries in a game. That game continued. Tonight, maybe our sensibilities have matured a bit.
Kevin, I just want to check with you because I mentioned the Chuck Hughes case to Rachel at the beginning of this discussion. Another thing I said at the beginning is, in my memory of the NFL, they have never stopped a game, stopped play. We're not going to continue play because of an injury. Do you have any recollection of them ever doing that?
I don't. And, the Chuck Hughes is just a story that's in my mind. I obviously don't remember that. I vaguely remember Reggie Brown. I'll tell you, I was at an AFC championship game between the Ravens and the Steelers, I believe 2008, 2009. And the game was pretty much in hand. The Steelers were winning late in the fourth quarter. And Willis McGahee, a running back for the Ravens, my memory is, if it's correct, he caught a pass over the middle. Ryan Clark was playing defensive back for the Steelers and absolutely crushed him with a tackle, laid him out, had to be carted off the field. And I remember calling my editor at the time and saying, I don't want to write about this game. I want to write about this hit that Ryan Clark just put on Willis McGahee, because it reverberated around the stadium. Then there came a hush. I mean, it struck everybody in the press box. So we know these kinds of things can happen and do happen, but the game always goes on. It has always gone on. I have no recollection of any story where an injury of this nature brought a game to a halt.
Yeah, for me, the really equally dramatic image tonight is seeing the entire Buffalo Bills team on their knees. At that point, with the ambulance leaving, they are in a prayer circle at that point.
Right.
And I just could not conceive of any one of them going back into play on that field, anything close to the top of their capacity or the top of their concentration levels to play that game.